I'm going to vote for the guy with the most impeachments and the most indictments because that guy, he knows where all the corruption is, and this time it's like clean the house.
So with the indictments, does that make you want to vote for Trump more, the same, or less? The more indictments you get, does that make you feel stronger?
I feel like, not necessarily. I just know that like Trump is like, he's the guy that's going to go in and sweep up this corruption.
It's indictment season, and for many on the MAGA right, the more charges filed against Trump, the better. The rationale being that someone charged with corruption by a corrupt system must be innocent, which in its own way does make sense, but we'll just have to see how that holds up in a court of law. As I'm recording this, we are waiting on expected charges to drop against Trump regarding the whole Georgia election interference thing. You know, this was when Trump was recorded on a phone call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, begging him to find the 11,000 votes he needed to win the state. Fani Willis, the Fulton County DA, is expected to ask a grand jury this week to indict former President Donald Trump and some others for their attempts to overturn the election as part of a larger racketeering case. And the story here is undeniably the most dire charges Trump faces. Basically, the Trump campaign has said that the efforts to overturn the election result in Georgia were done merely by emphatic but ultimately powerless Trump supporters who had no connection to the actual Trump campaign. But Fani Willis has revealed that she has evidence to prove that this was a top-down push by Trump's team to access sensitive voting software. And it all centers on a place called Coffee County, Georgia, where a breach into election systems before January 6th, 2021 has, quote, quietly emerged as an area of focus for investigators, with evidence being uncovered that directly links Trump's attorneys and hired campaign operatives to efforts to overturn the 2020 election. This stuff sounds like it's coming from the dumbest spy thriller novel, but no, it's very, very real. And because of that, even the right on Fox News is covering it nonstop. Just kidding. They're focusing on impeaching Joe Biden.
And Weiss is going to issue a report that says, Joe Biden, I've investigated him, and he's clean. And there's no question right now that Weiss is going to begin this investigation, cover for the Bidens, and say it's all been handled. Now is time for the Republicans to move to impeach Joe Biden.
Now, it is true that Hunter Biden is in serious legal trouble of his own, and it will have effects on his father's administration. But so far, the evidence is still scant in the Hunter Biden case, although the GOP is doing their best to uncover it all. I have a feeling, though, that no matter how far they get, it's going to be nowhere near as damning as, I don't know, let's say a phone call from the president himself demanding the Secretary of State find thousands of non-existent votes. But I guess we'll just have to wait and find out how it all shakes out. For more of my coverage on the breakdown, stay right here and check out my latest video on Marjorie Taylor Greene finally getting screwed over by her MAGA past by clicking on the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at CaroJohnson917.